It's a piece of wood. Making grow light panels because we're cheap. I'm cheap.
We're both cheap.
We inherited a bunch of rolls of LED strips that the previous owner was using to light like under cabinets and stuff. Luckily, this is like second nature stuff to me. So what we're gonna do is I cut a couple white panels. This was also left over from the previous owner. And these will fit in our little grow seedling starter. So I'm gonna cut these rolls to size. We'll probably do 8 strips per panel, maybe more if I can fit it. As much light as I can get onto this panel as possible. And then I'll solder all the strips together with some hookup wire. Run that back to a little 12-volt driver. This thing can only do 20 watts, which is probably only 5 meters of light, because it's what, 4.8 watts per meter. But I also have a 24-volt driver that I can step down to 12 volts. So, got options. But first step is going to be just cutting the LEDs to size and attaching them to this panel that I cut. I'm probably just going to use hot glue because it's got sticky 3M sticky back on it, but it ain't very sticky. So I'll just hot glue these all down, solder them. You want to see how bright they are?
Sure.
They're gonna make your phone camera do weird things.
Oh, really?
Probably. I don't know. Usually, yeah.
No.
The frequency of the light usually matches the shutter speed or something weird like that.
Oh, it just kind of makes it. Oh, it kind of does, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it like lines.
Yeah. That's because the frequency of the light is actually flashing just faster than your eyes can see.
But cool.
But your camera shutter can see it. And we're going to peel this, I don't know, diffuser gel off of it because this roll got pretty yellowed. So it's all attached to the panel. There are, what was it, 11 60-centimeter strips. I'll add a little switch in here, and then that'll run off to the power supply. But the next step is I gotta actually connect all the strips together, so we'll run little hookup wires at the end of each strip. I gotta solder a little patch in place because I messed a piece up. That's easily fixed. And now, with a little TV magic, and this is where you'll cut to all of them working.
Oh, okay.
Cool. It's pretty fucking.
The lights.
It's pretty bright.
It's pretty bright.
I added a switch. It's a double throw, single pole switch. So I just wired both sides so that it works no matter what direction you flip the switch. The power supply is plugged in, the lights aren't on, which means my switch is doing something.
Woo!
And that, yeah, no matter which way you flip the switch, the light turns on. This is an imitation of the little plant.
The plant growing.
That's a plant growing.
You really just cannot tell the snow squalls. You just really cannot tell. It's snowing. It's raining. It's a pain in my butt. When will it end? February.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, Uncle Elon finally came through. She's here. Holy cow. She barely fits on camera. The day of bandwidth caps and mediocre internet are behind us.
Play toy?
It looks like the pipe adapter came too, which means this weekend we can install it on the Quonset. But before it goes on the Quonset, we're going to get everything configured, make sure it works. And then I'll put it in its permanent spot up on the mast this weekend. Now, this video is not sponsored, but if Tesla or Starlink wants to sponsor us, we'll gladly. See, it ain't even gonna fit on the chandelier. It's like IKEA directions. Just that simple. The only difference is we will not be using the Starlink supplied router and hotspot. Our Starlink will be attached to our network stack and server stack. It's MikroTik RB3011, CRS 328, shielded patch panel, and this runs out to some access points that are in the house. So right now LTE comes into the RB3011, feeds that, its TELUS to the house. The problem with LTE is we're on 120 gigabit shared data plan a month, and that's not enough. I think this month we're close to 150 gigs, and we still got 5 days to go. So it gets expensive quick if you go over your data plan. So the LTE will be a failover, and Starlink will be our primary. To set it up, I will be using the router just to make sure everything is configured correctly. I can use the Starlink app without having to do like voodoo configurations on the RB3011. And then once I know it's good to go, we'll move it to the Quonset this weekend and go from there. Starlink, did you include a hair for some reason? Okay, so really don't need that. Hopefully that won't be a collector's item one day. See, my worry with the packing tape, this thing hadn't been opened before, had it? I don't think so. Think so, but maybe. I really don't care as long as she works. Okay, so this is what I'm going to put on the roof and attach it with some fasteners directly to the roof. Yeah, so this is the PoE injector that feeds power to the dish itself and then connects it to the LAN and or the router. She was quite frosty. Here is the Starlink supplied router. I mean, there's probably a million unboxings for this already, so it's not really necessary for me to show you. Okay, so let's take the dish out. I think what my process is going to be is to get up on the roof first. I got to go find some fasteners that'll go in there. Man, she's wet too, eh? Oh, okay. She's heavier than I thought. Pretty cool. That shoots. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is climb up on the roof. Previous owners of the property had Starlink. They sold it to a neighbor, but I believe he left some mounting stuff up on the roof. So I want to look. I want to look to see what he had up there. Lainey, don't run. I added some like screws into the deck so that the ladder wouldn't fall or slip out from under me. So there's some snow up here, but should be okay for the most part. And his mount was down there, if I remember correctly. And it's not pitched too bad. So I got pretty good grippy boots on at the moment. Now what we're looking for is where he had the mount at. Nope, here it is. So this is where he had it before, it looks like. So we're gonna get down on our hands and knees and just take a look. See here, yep. This is exactly where he had it. Luckily, this thing's metal. Do not take the header off the deck, break our neck. Kylie comes home to a dead husband. She would be less than thrilled with me. What is the doggo doing? Lady, what are you doing? Just digging something up out there. Okay. So we're gonna get down. We're gonna get down and find 3 bolts. See, I wonder if he had a different mount that got his up higher. Okay, so we're gonna bring some sockets up here. A couple different screws. Yeah, see, because we're still gonna have obstructions right here. But temporarily it'll work. Okay, we're gonna not step on the ice. So we gotta bring a socket and a couple extra bolts. And that's straight ice. So let's carefully do this. Yeah, I'm not too happy with my solution. I should have waited for Kylie. can always sit on the roof till she gets home. Yeah. Should have waited for Kylie. Also, trying to do this in snowboard boots. Less than pleasant. There we go. Thanks, stink pipe. Oh, that way, in case I fell. We'd all know why. I might put my normal boots on to go back up there, except they're not grippy. Okay. Decided not to switch boots because these things are good grippers. Man, I could have set this up somewhere where there wasn't much snow. I already got those screws in. Let's watch our footage come up and over. There goes the GoPro. I'm gonna ditch you. Sorry, GoPro. Can't risk my safety for you. Configs are here, and then what'll happen is I'll plug this white cable directly into our system, bypass Starlink's router, and then that'll pump it through our Wi-Fi and everything.
Pump it. Louder.
No, it's our Starlink. She's plugged in. Connect to Wi-Fi. We are. Sign into Starlink. Oh. Okay, so create a new Wi-Fi network. So we're going to just call this Linto Starlink. This is going to be going away in a minute. Disconnected us. Wi-Fi. Should come up Linto Starlink. Chewbacca. Linto Starlink, great. Password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Connect. Connected. Okay, so now we'll go back to the Starlink app. Allow. While using the app, it wanted the location. Great, there we go. Connected device. Starlink online. Let's look at the visibility. We'll see if we're putting this on the mast or not. So it's still connecting data on obstructions. I believe obstruction shows up red in this dome. So right out of the gate, it doesn't see any obstructions. So that's good. Stats, network statistics, uptime. Last 11 minutes, doesn't really count. It is updating. Latency is low. Speed test. Let's do a speed test right out of the gate. Oh, baby!
Whoa,
Give us that. Give
whoa.
us that sweet, sweet juice. Yeah.
Now that is some internet. What were we at, 20 before?
Barely. Good job, Uncle Elon.